Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
And there was light. Ladies and gentlemen, I see the light. And the light was the sun this morning. It's Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. I'm on day 2 of no Fitbit. Don't know what time it is. Don't know where I am. I know I have a shirt on and slacks and hopefully matching socks. I have the ultimate first world problem. Like I mentioned yesterday, we're getting ready to move on Friday, and all of the chargers. I hate that I'm about to say this again. All of the chargers for my Fitbit, which is also my watch, are packed. I have regular, real watches. Those are also packed, Ryan. So I go now watchless for the second day. I mean, literally, at one point yesterday afternoon, Steve Graham, my coworker, and I, we were packaging thousands of cookies for H&I Hahn and All Steel. Apparently, they give all their people cookies, which is great. I'm saying a couple thousand cookies yesterday. And there were a few happy accidents. You know, you pick up a brownie cookie, it breaks in half. You can't package a half-broken brownie cookie. Half-broken brownie cookie. I made that. Okay. So you got to try it. But after you get done with that, you got cookie on the brain. So that was my Tuesday. It's Wednesday, right? I'm also forgetting what day it is because I start vacation this Friday, and I'm kind of in vacay mode, but I'm moving at the same time. So how much of a vacation can you really have when you're moving? The answer is please come and help us unpack if you would be so kind. Today is our very own Chad Yoakum's birthday. He is celebrating birthday number 27 with us, and isn't that right, Ryan? Is that what you said? 27 and a half, I believe. So happy birthday to Chad. He's literally behind the camera right now, and he's here every day we do the show. And all I have to do is show up and complain about the lights that Ryan puts in my face, and then sometimes have Cody get my Starbucks. I've got it made. These guys do the work, so I appreciate that. And please, if you see Chad today, wish him a happy birthday, and get him a cake or something, or a card, or maybe a couple thousand cookies if you'll have it. Not a bad idea. The last thing I want to mention is just a reminder, it's Wellness Wednesday here at Hy-Vee. Whether you're watching live or on cable, you can come to the store and save 10% off all your purchases in the health market and on things like organic produce. It's a great deal. We love Wellness Wednesday. There's a lot of good things that you can save. Okay, so I don't know the exact date, but around this time a year ago, I would think in the next maybe it was a year ago already, or we're coming up on the anniversary of our next guest's first visit on the show. So I'm super excited to have author Shelby Harrell back, and Mark Heidelball, who I have misspelled your name, and I apologize. There's an extra D in there. It's a bonus D. So you're on. First of all, we got to do the shake. Shelby, good to see you. Mark, great to see you. So okay, so it was. Do you remember the date? I mean, have we passed the 1 year, or are we getting close?
No, it was
Not
in
yet.
July.
It was in July. Okay,
yes.
so Shelby was here last year on the show, and we were talking about this fascinating topic that you have uncovered and since written about, and I'm going to get to the book in a second. Women soldiers in the Civil War. I had no idea. I shared with you then that in high school I got to go to Gettysburg, and it was an incredible experience, and I liked the Civil War. I like reading about it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, less than a year later, here is the book that Shelby told us about last July. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is incredible. I was saying to Shelby and Mark before we started that there is something about the tangibility of a book. For whatever reason, you talk about writing a book, and we're in 2019, and what does that mean, really? You know, some people might say, well, I downloaded on my smart tablet. But as much as I love technology, and I've already said this off camera, I like the tangibility of a book. So I just want you to tell people, Shelby, how it felt the first time. I don't know if they come in a box or whatever, but you got your hands on your own book.
Right.
It's wild.
You can't really describe it because it's the research was about 10 years worth.
Wow.
Writing the book was 2 years worth. And then another year for production. So there's a lot of time and effort spent into what you see on the table in front of you. So to actually open the box and pick it up out of the box and smell the ink, smell smell the newness. It's quite intoxicating. It's
the new book smell.
The new book smell. That's right. Yeah.
What a process, though, right? And again, for the average consumer, and we were looking at some great pictures from several of the events that you've been doing, including one in Muscatine tonight that we'll certainly get to. And for people that come out, they can buy a book and meet you and learn a little, and then of course take it home and read it. They don't understand the amount of work that goes into it, and sometimes that's okay, right? But they can certainly appreciate. Someone like myself can appreciate the efforts that you put into it, and you just discussed that. So, what a great moment to have this, and then to get it out into the world. Right? To have it be available in a lot of different places so that people can just do that. They can consume it and learn, because I guarantee you, just like I was last July, I was ignorant to the fact that there were, Shelby, women hidden in plain sight in the Civil War, including a great Muscatine connection. I remember you shared that with us.
Yes.
So I guess without spoiling what's inside this fabulous book, I mean, and Mark, certainly you know this as well. I mean, uncovering these women soldiers. Did you ever find out if there was like a definitive number of women? I mean, maybe that's probably a tough question. There are probably more that are still left to be uncovered that were hidden, because that's what they did. They hid themselves to serve.
Right.
They didn't want to be uncovered.
Right. Oh gosh, as a math teacher, when you got to be careful talking about numbers.
Yes, trust me, math is not my friend. Yeah.
It is kind of a pet peeve. People try to nail down the number of women soldiers, and it kind of gets under my skin a bit, because we'll never know a definite number.
Sure.
I mean, we have estimates, but just again, because what you alluded to, just the very nature of their service, because of the subterfuge involved, we'll never know how many there were. But I can assure you that whatever that total is not a significant number.
Sure.
Especially when you consider the millions of men who fought. There weren't that many women soldiers, but they gave their lives for the same causes the men did, and are buried in national cemeteries next to men. So we deserve, or they deserve, to be learned about, to be spoken about, to be honored. So. And
Mark, from all the research that you've done and contributed to this book, and all of the events that you go to, and you are a consumer of the Civil War, you know a lot more than most people. Yes, these women deserve recognition, even though they didn't seek it. But what they felt was that sense of duty and country. And certainly during the Civil War is a tumultuous time. And they weren't allowed to do this, by the way. This was was it illegal? Was it? I mean, if they were found out, it probably didn't end well. But just that feeling that they must have had to go, I need to do this. I need to contribute.
It varied.
Yeah.
The reasons they went were the same as the men.
Sure.
Every reason you can point to, this man did for this reason, you can find a woman that did it for the same thing.
It's unbelievable.
And going back to numbers, everybody wants a number. Their job was to remain hidden.
Right.
To make it understandable for everybody.
Yep.
Look at spies. Any war, there are spies. The spies that we hear about were the ones that failed and got caught.
Exactly.
The ones that were successful at their job of remaining hidden, we never hear about.
So
it's a similar thing. But the Muscatine connections with all this is great. We can get into that later. But Muscatine played an important part in the Civil War.
Okay, so we've got a photo on the screen. Can you tell us what we're looking at? Now, is this one of those things where Tony goes, there's a photo on the screen, and then you guys go, that's a reenactment from last summer? Is that a reenactment from last summer? Or
if that's a reenactment from last summer, no. If that is, that's the best one ever.
Okay, I was
that is an actual photo.
Okay, good.
This is actually a picture of 3rd Iowa.
Gotcha.
Infantry.
Wow.
They were organized in Keokuk. If you look at their roster, they have people from Nevada, Iowa, Waterloo, Dubuque, Mount Pleasant, Keokuk, all over the place. This is a mid-war photograph. The boys are looking very fit and ragged.
Sure.
But it's just a good-looking representation of the type of soldiers that Iowa sent into the war.
Yeah, and if you look at some of those faces, boy, they look young too as well, right? I mean,
yes.
I think that's important to think about the ages of these soldiers for both sides during the Civil War and the sacrifices that they made. Shelby is at the Munster Public Library tonight,
That's
6
right.
p.m. This is really exciting. I don't know if you've been down to the Munster Public Library already. It's a fantastic space.
Yes.
Not a lot of libraries get essentially gifted Fortune 500 company's former headquarters as the new library. It's really something else. I'm really excited for the library, and then even more excited to have you there tonight. And again, I don't want to give everything away because part of the fun, I mean, it's just like spoiling a movie. Nobody wants to spoil a book and all the fun that's in the book. So what can people expect this evening with the presentation at the Muscle Public Library? I hope that they'll be able to meet and greet with you and purchase a book if they wanted to. Is that part of it?
Yes,
Perfect.
yes.
Okay.
I'm going to speak just about women soldiers in general. Of course, I'll sprinkle in elements of my book throughout. And yes, you alluded to a Muscatine connection, so I will be sure to talk about her, what
Sure.
we know about her. And then afterwards, I'll be selling and signing books.
Excellent. This is great. Starts at 6 o'clock, Musser Public Library, downtown Muscatine. All right, let's get a little bit to that Muscatine connection just to refresh people's memories. So again, we're talking with author Shelby Harrell, Mark Heideball, who is a great contributor in this book as well. Hidden Women Soldiers in the Civil War. It's just saying it is exciting because, again, I hope people are learning about this for the first time and going, really? And now you're saying there's a Muscatine connection to that topic, and the answer is a resounding yes.
Yes, right? Yes. She actually was not from Muscatine. She was actually from Ohio.
Okay.
And whenever she was traveling through this area en route to northern Iowa, she was aroused by the martial air going on here because this was, of course, the location of Camp Strong, a training ground. And being a typical teenager, rebellious teenager, she decided to enlist without the knowledge or consent of her parents or friends. So I'll share her story. So it's a very interesting story.
Shelby mentioned Camp Strong.
Yeah.
Have you been to the marker here
No,
in town?
you've told me about the marker. There's these fascinating markers. Just not, how far from the store would that be? I mean,
8 miles. from
right,
the store.
8 miles from where we're at here at Hy-Vee, there is a marker for where Camp Strong was. Is that correct?
Civil War training ground. All of the units from Muscatine, and there were 2 principal regiments formed out of Muscatine County and Cedar County.
Sure.
In training there. It's down by the Van Acker Mobile Home Park.
That's right. Okay. I think I actually have seen this because the last time you guys were here, you mentioned it to me, and then I was in that neck of the woods, and I believe I saw a sign indicating that it was.
Yeah, it's just a stone marker.
Yes.
We have a photo of it in there somewhere.
That's fantastic. Okay, so there's a lot of history. There it is right there. Look at that.
Yes, that's the marker.
That's great. So there's a lot of history that you can experience in your own backyard. I think sometimes the thought is, well, I've got to go to Gettysburg, and I encourage everybody to go because it is unbelievable. I mean, I was 17 when I went, and I still appreciated it. I want to go back at 35.
Let's go next year. We're going.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a great place to be. So, Shelby, you've done a lot of these presentations and taking the book around, and I know that there have been, because Mark told me, and I'm not really putting you on the spot, but recently you had an experience where you were doing a presentation, and there was someone in the crowd that had a connection with.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
Is this a story? If it's a story in the book or not, I can't remember. I'm trying to remember what Mark told me. But this is absolutely fascinating. Like a long distance relative. Pick up the story, right?
Yes. There's an account that I have. It's found out some fascinating information. I don't want to spoil it, but it's quite fascinating, quite shocking. It's going to be shocking to a lot of people. But I was speaking at the Natchez Historical Society's meeting recently, and the sergeant who is central to this account actually stood up after I was done, and he said, "I am the relative of Sergeant Burns." And so I had no idea he was going to be there.
Unbelievable.
He had no idea his relative was even involved in all of this.
Right.
And we were just yards away from where this whole event took place in Natchez. So it's like.
And again, not to give away this story, because now I'm remembering it from what Mark told me. I mean, it's one thing to talk about women soldiers in the Civil War. This story in particular will blow your mind as far as, I don't want to give anything away. It's so exciting. It's just like when Mark told me, I was like, I couldn't even almost process it because it was so multi-layered.
Yes.
With what you think about what was also going on during the Civil War. And so to have somebody in the crowd go, hey, by the way, I mean, you want to talk about right place, right time, goosebump feeling. Yeah,
it was meant to be. It was all, the stars aligned at that point in time. So, and he did buy a book.
Of course, he's got to read about his relative.
I autographed it, so.
Have you got used to signing your names on book? Where do you? Okay, this is nerdy, but because you're here, and I'm going to ask, where do you sign a book, Shelby? Do you go right inside here? Is that where you go?
Well, because of the texture, I don't like to sign it there. Some people want me to sign, I don't know, but usually just...
Oh, that's perfect. And it says the title behind the rifle right there, of course.
Right. So, I mean, you know, that one, I don't have a lot of room, so...
Yeah. This is so great. It's so nice to just have this tangible copy in your hand, right? And again, I don't want to give too much away, but I know that there are some images featured throughout the book as well.
Yes.
Can I show this one? Wait, hold on. Where was it? Right here. Can I show that one? Is that
Sure.
okay? I think we showed this image the last time you were here.
We actually have that one in here.
Oh, we do. We have the Sarah Rosetta Wakeman. So
Yes.
this is in the book, and this is how it looks in the book, and it's fantastic. So again, this is a female who made the choice to serve her country during the Civil War, hidden in plain sight, featured in Behind the Rifle, Women Soldiers in the Civil War, Mississippi. There it is on your screen. Now, again, folks at home, what you're hearing is true. What I just said, it might not make sense. It's hard to process that this was something that happened in our country that we're maybe just now learning about, and that's the whole point. We're trying to always be continuously learning, except for me in math. We're not friends still. But that is a woman who served, and was she discovered? I hate even saying discovered, because she made the choice to do it, whether it was right or not. She felt like it was the right thing to do. Was Sarah Rosetta Wakeman discovered while she served?
We don't actually know. She died in 1864 of disease.
Gotcha. Okay.
And she's buried under her male alias in
Oh,
Chalmette.
my goodness.
Yes, in Chalmette National Cemetery, not too far from where I live, actually. So we don't know if anybody at the time discovered her secret, but we know that it was not until the 1940s when her letters were discovered in the farmhouse that she grew up in. She was one of the few women who wrote letters home, and her letters have been published. Actually, you can buy the book called An Uncommon Soldier with her letters in it. So we don't actually know if she was discovered then or when the letters were actually discovered. So
it's one of the letters right there. Is that correct, or is that a different letter? It looks like 1863.
No, that is not one of hers.
That's all right. I just love seeing old letters like
I
that.
know,
It's so
and-
fascinating. I mean, again, these are like time capsules. When you see pictures or letters, I mean, it almost feels like, you talk about the Civil War. It almost feels like it was a surreal thing. Like, certainly that couldn't have happened where our country was divided
Right.
and at war with them and themselves. But it did happen, and you can experience it, and you can pick up books like Behind the Rifle and learn about it, and then travel to places like that both of you do, and the experiences that you've had. Now you're on the other side where you're the attraction. You have the story to tell.
Oh, dear.
And Mark has the experiences and this great, all of this wealth of information that you can share. And then this is like the icing on the cake, having it in print. The obvious question, Shelby, and no pressure, is what are you going to do next? Right? I mean, have you, and of course, disclose what you want to or not, because I'm putting you on the spot. But do you have other subjects? Are there other stories to be told from the Civil War that maybe you've been toeing the water, working on? You said how long of a process this was to put together. I get that. Mm-hmm. So what's next? What would you like to do?
What's next is actually another book.
Okay.
That's going to be years down the road. This was a narrow focus. It was just dealing with the chronicle of Mississippi's involvement in the Civil War as told through the experiences of women.
Sure.
Of course, I do branch out and talk about Gettysburg, talk about Antietam, talk about Andersonville. So it's not totally related to Mississippi, but I tried to keep it within the focus as much as I could. So there's still lots of new stories that I did not include in this book that I do want to include in the second book. So the second book, I want it to be just about women soldiers in general.
Okay.
And actually at the back, perhaps even include like a reference, where you can look them up by last name, or you can look them up by state, so forth. So that's in the works. That's my plan anyway.
I'm glad that you had that answer, because I wanted to ask you, but I mean, we're celebrating Behind the Rifle and the presentation tonight at West Public Library and the years of work that have gone into it. But I also know that you are the type of person that is wanting to keep doing more. So it's great to hear you say that there'll be another book, and then we'll be able to talk about it on the show. I
Yes.
can only hope. Wow, these pictures are just, I mean, it's just, again, looking at these pictures, it's just amazing
Yes.
glimpses to have.
She actually,
Yeah.
with her husband Henry Hart, there
Okay.
should be a picture of him as well.
Henry Hart, good name.
She was from Illinois. She married Henry Hart before the war, and did not want to be separated from him. So they served together as husband and wife, as soldiers.
What?
And actually, those pictures are the first pictures ever published of a husband and wife who served together as soldiers.
Oh my gosh. So he was like, okay, you're going to do it. Let's do it. That's intense. I'm just trying to think about, like, again, it's one thing to think about it in today's, like, the context of today. It's like, sure, that's not that uncommon. We're talking Civil War and the fact that women weren't even allowed, I hate even saying this, allowed to serve. It's ridiculous.
They weren't even allowed to wear pants.
Oh my gosh. What in the world?
I know, it's hard for us to understand.
Right. A lot of these are just tough to grasp, but they did it together. It's unbelievable to hear that and to just think about the decision that they made together.
One of those came home to Illinois, the other did not.
Oh, no.
And so I will let you have to read the book to find out.
Oh,
Or come to the presentation tonight at the library.
I'm still not going to do
You're
it.
still not going to
You're going to have to read the
listen,
book.
it's all in the book, which is right here in front of us, behind the rifle. It's so wonderful to have this. I love it. The first study with a regional focus on the role women soldiers played in the Civil War. And again, you know, if you're the type of person that, you know a little bit about the Civil War and you're like, okay, I didn't know if there was anything else left to learn. Oh my gosh, this is a whole other thing. And I had really, honestly, had no context, no idea until last July when you were here that there were women who took it upon themselves to disguise themselves to serve. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. And it's been fascinating to follow your story and the journey from, all the work going into this book and having it here. And then there we go tonight at the Muscat Public Library, 6 o'clock. Absolutely groundbreaking, like it says right there. This is really exciting. In the Muscat Public Library, room 301. Now, Shelby, Mark, for people that can't make it tonight, and we hope that they do, I mean, getting their hands on a copy of the book, where would you prefer that they go for Behind the Rifle?
Nope, they're out of luck. You have to come tonight. It's the only place in the world you can buy the book.
Oh, okay. Wow.
No.
Are you okay, Mark?
Putting the pressure on you, Muscatine. Come on.
Yeah.
You come to the presentation tonight
Yeah.
at 6 o'clock at the library. You get to hear a nice presentation. You can hear the speaker with a wonderful accent. But the greatest part about the presentation tonight is I'll have tons of reenacting Civil War reproduction gear on display that you can
Excellent.
handle, look at,
Okay.
and touch. But to answer your question seriously, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, any of the major multimedia
on
sites,
there.
it's available there.
Wow. But again, to meet the author, to greet the author, to talk to the author, to learn the story firsthand is a great experience. I hope that you're able to come back maybe in the fall or whenever your schedule allows to do another presentation.
Absolutely.
Because I think this is one of those stories that people want to experience firsthand. And then, right, it's not that often that you're in a library meeting the author of a book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they
Right.
probably do this occasionally, but it's not that often that you're grabbing a book. I mean, you're grabbing a book at a library, that's common, but to then look at the author and go, wow, nice to meet you, and to be able to take it home, it's a lot more meaningful to have that connection and to understand the amount of work that has gone into all of this. And I thought, Mark was going to bring me some hardtack, but I guess I'll get that later.
I have it there
You like
tonight
that?
for you.
Oh boy, you like that reference?
I did. I was
Hardtack thing.
very impressed.
Well, I do what I can, Mark. I know a couple references, and I use them sparingly. This is such a fascinating topic. Your Facebook page, by the way, Forbidden, Hidden, Forgotten. Did I get that right? Forbidden,
Yes.
Hidden, Forgotten on Facebook. Shelby's book. It's right here. Look at it. It's a book. Okay, this is the real deal, Holyfield. There's the Facebook page. Forbidden, Hidden, and Forgotten Women Soldiers of the Civil War. Find out all the info you need to online and follow the journey of this story and this book. And then, of course, as we would do in any type of media, stay tuned for what's to come. A little bit of a teaser, if you'll have it. This is exciting. I'm very happy for you. I see Mark and talk to Mark a lot as a coworker and friend. It's great to have him here, of course, but to have you back is wonderful. Your hard work paid off. it's here. And I hope that for people watching, if you're scratching your head, is this a real? Yes, this is 100% real. You've done the work. You've done your homework.
Yes, it's
Besides
not
just
a novel.
math homework. You've done the real. This is a real account of real women that served in the Civil War, and they hid themselves. It's crazy that they did it, but they did it, and they deserve to be recognized. And I can't wait for people to learn more. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks for having me.
Please, so long as I'm gainfully employed and the show continues, when you're ready for the next book, come
Absolutely.
back on. And please come out tonight, Munster Public Library, 6 p.m., Behind the Rifle. It's right here. Man, I'm just thinking about this now. Like, you're going to a library, your book will be in libraries.
I hope so.
Isn't that wild? Your book will be in a library. Of
Yeah,
course, we want people to
yeah.
buy it, right? But
Right.
to have it in a library,
Right.
that's pretty darn cool.
Right.
They get the fancy cover protector on it and everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Get a call number, you know.
Oh, the call. See, I worked in the library in college, so this is a little nerdy, but that's okay. Shelby, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Great
Tony.
to see you. Mark,
Thanks,
pal.
brother.
Listen, come out tonight, learn, read. Wow, that's going to be the reaction. I guarantee you. You're going to read this and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And it will also maybe give you a little bit of perspective. You know, sometimes we need that little bit of perspective. Things aren't that bad. You weren't hiding yourself in the midst of a civil war, right? You stubbed your toe this morning. Guess what? You didn't have to hide yourself in the Civil War. It's not that bad. So thank you very much. Let's go to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam if we could. Please go to the Munster Public Library tonight. Behind the Rifle, Women Soldiers in Civil War, Mississippi, Shelby Harrell. That's an unbelievable story. Fantastic. Check it out. Hey, listen, CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam is literally right around the corner, and I think we're looking at some cutting boards and some pots and some pans and some supplies if you need to do some cooking. And you might have to, right? Because, listen, if you need some new things like cutting board, I think about cutting board. Do I need a new cutting board at my house? We're moving in 2 days. We've got a cutting board. At what point do you go, the cutting board that we have is kind of gross. I think we need a new one. Naria, I'm going to put you right here, and we'll share a microphone. And Randy and Kayla can have their own. But I want Naria right in the middle. I'm thinking about my cutting board and the fact that it might be old now. You know, you use a cutting board for too long. Naria's bringing me gifts, apparently.
So you don't forget who I am.
Oh, how would I ever forget who you are, Naria? I can't wait. All right, we're going to get our guests situated, and then we're going to send Cody on a stroll with the Toyota Muscatine car cam. You never cease to amaze me, young lady. Hey, and I know that we're all going to celebrate today. Chad's probably going to celebrate this on his birthday. Did you know your birthday is also National Running Day? Chad likes to run. It's National Running Day. It's National Gingerbread Day, so maybe you get Chad a gingerbread cake on his birthday. And
National Leave Work Early Day.
you love talking when I'm talking.
I know.
We have that in common.
interrupt
That's fine. You're friends. It's also National Moonshine Day. Me and Naria gonna get into the moonshine again. Just kidding. And it's Veggie Burger Day. So have your veggie burger and wash it down with a little moonshine. Drink responsibly if you're 21. All right, let's go to, before I incriminate myself anymore, Toyota Muscatine car cam. Cody going on a stroll. Where's he going? I don't know. Go Cody. Go Cody. That kind of rhymed a little. Going down the cereal aisle. Cody, I got an idea. Let's bust a left, and then let's go to Hy-Vee Floral and show some of those little purple plants they've got set up. So bust a left, and then, yeah, there you go. And then hang a right there. Boom. I love that Cody can hear me. This is marvelous. It's like playing a video game, kind of, except Cody's a real person with feelings. Now hang a left, and then go straight right there through that middle. Yep. And then hang a right around. Yes, there you go. Exactly. Now hang a left. Little left, and then go straight, and then a little bit, yep. And then let's show some of the stuff in Hy-Vee Floral because it always looks so good. Thank you, Cody. Look at that. We didn't even crash into anything. Keep in mind, that's a full-size Toyota Muscatine car cam 2019 model. We've got the GoldenEye scope out. In addition to the florals, they've got some fun gifts. And then, Cody, right behind you, you know that there's a candy bouquet. Why don't you grab a candy bouquet and show Naria what she'll get, because everybody at Lutheran Living Senior Campus loves her.
No, they don't.
And they want her to have all of the candy bouquets. No. Look at that one, Naria. The price is right. That could be yours for a low payment of whatever it costs. So we'll put it on Naria's tab, and we'll get that to her. All right. Our next guests are talking amongst themselves. They're having fun, and they're ready to go with Lutheran Living Senior Campus and the car show that's coming up on June 15th. All right, I'm going to try and see if I got it all right. Naria Strickland, Caleb Benefel, and Randy Don't. Let me try and remember how to say it. I'm going to send it to
Come
me.
on, Tony.
Rogantine.
Way to go,
I
Maria.
got it. I knew it was. You understand that Loconsole has been said wrong my whole life.
I'm sure.
So Rogantine.
It's a
That's
tough
why I
one.
changed it to
Thank you.
Tone.
That's right. That's why I changed it to Tone, and then I got sued and I changed it back. That's all, a little bit of a true story. Good to see you, by the way.
Yes,
Haven't
you
seen
too.
you in a while.
I know.
Last time you were here, we were up in the front of the store, and I think I was I ringing the bell for 12 hours that day
Yes,
at
you were.
Salvation Army?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that was in December, and now it's June. So great to have you here.
Yes.
Thank you. Kayla, good to see you.
You too.
Sunshine? I guess I have to share a microphone with Naria. What's in the bag? This isn't really, what is it?
Pens.
Now, last time you were here, I made a comment about not having a Lutheran Living Senior Campus pen. Is this okay, Randy? Are you good with this?
I mean, was that in the budget?
Yeah.
How many pens are we
Supposed to
giving
show
you?
her that.
How many what?
How many pens are we giving you?
Just a couple. I mean,
all
there's
right.
like 50 in there, so that's enough. Thank you for the gift, friend. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're sitting here on Wednesday, June 5th. We are 10 days away from the Lutheran Living Classic Car Show, Saturday, June 15th. I shared with a coworker of mine who has a couple classic vehicles. I was like, hey, I need you to be at this car show right there, June 15th, Lutheran Living. And he was like, okay, cool. And I said, no, I'm telling you because I want you to tell that network of people that you know that have the classic cars. And I said, here's the catch. $10 entry fee, but they're taking all the entry fees and they're going to use it to put towards a golf cart to transport folks around Lutheran Living Senior Campus. He was like, outside, right. Although,
Outside,
Randy,
yeah.
you could drive a golf cart inside. The place is so big.
No. Well, you
Yep.
could, but that's
Right.
not allowed.
Yeah. Yet. Ish. So outside the campus. But when I told my coworker this, he was like, his face lit up. He was like, that's such a great idea. And it makes total sense. So again, for the people at home, whatever the reason is that brings you out on June 15th, if you have a vehicle or not, just know that it is for a good cause, right? It is for a good cause, and we want the residents to be able to get outside and enjoy it. Randy, you know for sure that along with social interaction, not being inhibited from just going outside. I mean, it's little things that we all maybe take for granted that
Right.
can make a big difference for somebody, right?
Yes.
And getting them outside and being active and making friends and doing things regardless of, what's going on. I mean, it can really change somebody's entire day. I love when I've walked into Lutheran Living Senior Campus, just in the main doors there, and then there's folks just kind of sitting. You've got these very nice chairs and these beautiful giant windows, and there's folks just sitting, hanging out, chit-chatting, and everybody's always in a good mood. So I know that all those things can play a big factor in how folks are doing or feeling. So to be able to purchase a golf cart makes total sense. All right, at this point, Kayla, how are we looking? Do we still have room for people to call you and say, hey, listen, I've got a vehicle or two, I'm going to be there?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And if you're the kind of person that knows people that have like 10 or 12 vehicles, we want to see them there as well. Are we giving out any prizes for most unique vehicles or anything like that? Will you be giving out bags of pens, Naria?
No.
I'll share maybe.
Maybe one pen.
Okay. But it's not a contest by any
No.
means. No. Good.
No, I mean, we do have trophies.
You have trophies.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the trophies. And do I have one? These are my trophies. I'm kidding. You're my trophies. You're my friends.
Aw.
So let's talk about the trophies, though, because this is kind of cool. So what could they get a trophy for?
We have 3 categories.
Okay.
It's gonna be the main one is People's Choice, so that'll be everyone can vote.
Okay.
We also are gonna have a Resident's Choice.
Ooh.
So for the residents to get involved and see all the cars and vote for them.
Okay.
And then we also are gonna have a Kids' Choice. So bring your kids.
Good idea. Well, I've
They
got
can
3
vote.
of them now. That's 3 votes. I could swing this thing for somebody,
That would
right?
Be cheating.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't tell them who to vote for.
Oh,
Of course, they can make up their own minds, except for the baby. She's only 8 months old. Randy, are you the type of person? Do you like classic cars? Do you?
I do. Yes.
Have one? Or
I
know
do
people
not.
that do? Yeah.
Some of our relatives do.
Cool.
But my husband's family is big into going to car shows and
Yeah.
drag races and that type of thing. So that's something that my husband usually takes our kids to. And
Awesome.
my previous facility, it was a smaller town,
Sure.
and so we usually took the residents to the car show. So that's kind of where I got the idea from.
Oh, it's a fantastic idea because there's a lot of people in the Muscatine area that have some pretty fascinating rides.
We hope to see them.
Yeah, we definitely want to see
Yes,
them. And then, like I said the last time you guys were here, they love, people that have classic cars love showing them off. We know this. They don't really get out that much except for a car show, right? And when they show up, they're like, please, they never watch it. It never look like my exterior, right? It's great. Then you open it up and it's like a living in the back seat. It's something in the other end. That's the only massive parking lot set ready to go. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope that it does. You know, it's going to be Father's Day early, Father's Day present again. Thank you. Is there a postcard in there? Look at that. Oh, fun stuff at Lutheran Living Senior Campus, everybody. Established in 1895?
It's an orphanage. It started in 1895 as an orphanage.
I don't know if I knew that or not.
It was the actual orphanage there. Part of it.
Absolutely fascinating. And it was just about, 5 years ago that the name Lutheran Living Senior Campus came to be? It was in the last 4 or 5, right?
Lutheran Homes, and then we changed it to Lutheran Living Senior Campus.
Absolutely. The last time we were here, which was just a week ago, we were talking about the wonderful TCU.
TCC.
Transitional
Care Center.
I thought it was unit. Transitional Care Center.
Sounds better
We're-
than unit.
Can I tell my fun story? It's a complimentary story. Randy,
Sure.
you need her still, or you want her to stay all day here? What do you think? Okay. I need her. I need Maria to help me out. So I was talking to a customer after you were on the show, and they had said, I watch your show, and that's a nice thing to hear. Sometimes I don't know what to say because, you know, it's like, thank you, I appreciate that. And they said, I saw when you had the ladies on from Lutheran, and my husband spent time in the Transitional Care Center. And I said, oh, that's great. And she said, you're right when you said how big the rooms are. And I was like, oh, yeah. And it just kind of caught me off guard, right? But because sometimes I forget that we have shared experiences. And that was so nice to hear. Because, yes, my experience was I was there for the grand opening. I couldn't believe how big and nice the facility was. And then, right, it's practical. It's getting used all the time. It's being used as we're sitting here. And people are having great experiences. Randy, for you, because you've been at Lutheran Living Senior Campus for...
A little over a year and a half.
Perfect. So when you came to town, I mean, certainly you probably toured the facility before you made the decision to grace us with your presence,
Yes.
and which we appreciate. So, but when you saw that TCC, I mean, that had to be like game
it was
on,
beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an
Very beautiful.
unbelievable amenity to have at a facility, but also just to be able to serve people in Muscatine. So it was just a nice compliment to hear because, yes, I understand how nice it was, but I didn't have any personal experience with
Right.
it, right? What's the length of time that most people find themselves in the TCC?
It's around 12 days.
12
That's our
days.
average.
Okay. So they immediately, does it work like they have whatever the procedure is at the hospital, and then they
Right.
would come
And
directly?
they transition to us.
Okay.
And we're kind of that medium between hospital and home.
Perfect. Okay. So by the time that 12 days or so is up, they're feeling well enough to then go back home
Right.
and resume activities. And by the way, you talk about Lutheran Living Senior Campus, and they have unbelievable spaces, like enough room to have a concert, apparently. Jeez Louise. So there's always something going on. I love the layout, and look at that. Look at how you guys have a lot of fun there. And I know that that's part of it, right? I mean, you understand that you can sometimes be dealing with some serious things going on, but ultimately, you know, you want people to know that it's a good place to be for folks that work there, but then also obviously for folks that are, you know, that are there for however long they're there, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and Naria's been there for just a year and a half as well, right?
20
Or a
years.
generation.
Generation. Thank you so much.
I like when you give her the business. That's good. Because she's your boss.
Yeah, she
Yes.
does not like
Oh my
For
gosh,
you,
like
Randy.
that.
This is great. It's nice. No, listen, this car show is a great idea. I'm really excited to just play a small role and to be there and to hang out. I'm glad that I made the new flyer. I see that.
I was just going to point
yeah,
that out.
I know.
Good
Well,
for
you know, I gave her
And-
business. And
The newspaper ad.
oh my gosh, is it in this week's newspaper?
It
ad?
is.
Cody, do you mind? Could you? He is always like, what now, Tony? Right near the entryway by Starbucks, could you grab a Voice Muscatine newspaper? This is very self-serving, but I mean, it is great to know. Again, we're
It is. I
better
checked
hope it's in there.
I
Oh
checked
boy.
yesterday.
No,
We,
gosh, you're
we are
silly.
also
Go ahead.
having a silent auction.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about what's in the silent auction.
We've gotten donations from some of the automotive shops O'Reilly's,
AutoZone,
AutoZone,
Arnold's.
Arnold's, and Boonies.
Cool.
We've gotten some different donations, and we're having baskets and things like that, and we'll have a silent auction as well.
And again, all of the proceeds, just think about this, all the proceeds from the entry fees to the silent auction are going to be used to purchase a golf cart to get folks transported around the facilities outside at Lutheran Living Senior Campus. It's not rare that a car show supports a good cause, but it's nice to know that you could take that $10 as an entry fee for your super cool vehicle. And if it's like that, you know I'm a car guy, and that's clearly a car that's got 4 wheels and an engine, and it's a 19-something with other stuff. But like, you take that $10 and it's going to go directly towards helping people, and that's really nice. And silent auctions, yes, what I'm really good at is bidding people up in silent auctions.
Ooh.
Please do. Believe.
Yeah.
Did you say it's hard to believe?
Yeah, that is kind of hard to believe.
What, you think I'm cheap?
No, you're kind of quiet.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I've been known to be. That is Ryan Henderson's brother, Sean. His car. Is that a Firebird? It's a Thunderbird. It's a cars. Since you're here and keep that there. I want to ask. Since you're here, first car that you want to know. Let's start with Randy. What was your first car?
Nissan Maxima.
A 91 Nissan.
Yep.
Kayla, what was your first car that you got? See, because she's young. Get it?
Oh my.
And there you go.
My first car was a 96 Audi S4.
Wow.
Your first car was an Audi?
Right.
What do you live in a gold castle?
I
Look at that.
wish.
Hold on, Chad. Come back over here. This is very self-serving. Look at that right there. With an exclamation point.
Yeah.
That's that's like Tony Tone or Tony Tone with a little punch at the end. Hold on a second. Your first car was an Audi?
My first car that I drove, to school.
Okay, that's cool. Where did you go? All
Right.
right. I mean, what you don't know about Kayla is that she lived in a castle with a moat. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome that you had that. First car for you, Naria.
Buggy.
What was that pony's name?
I like it. Well, apparently my parents did not like me as well as theirs. My first car that I can remember was a 1967 Ford
Yeah. Yeah.
mint green station wagon.
Ooh.
No.
Yes,
That's
she
beautiful.
called that the guy catcher.
Yeah.
67.
Put lots of guys in it.
67. And I hope it's on display. I hope it's on display at the car show. 67 Ford station wagon that was mint green.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen, I learned how to. That's the
No,
family
it didn't have-
truckster.
It didn't have the wood paneling, no.
Yeah.
It was missing that.
If Naria is anything, she's honest, Ryan, and she'll critique you. But that is a 67. Close enough, right?
Yeah.
All right, now listen. My first car. Thanks for asking, ladies. 1985. Look at that, Naria. Was that it?
That look, yes.
Wow.
Wasn't that pretty?
That's
but
a beauty.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
That is.
Listening to all of the tunes of the day.
I was the last child of 7.
Oh,
so I'm sure my
boy.
parents were broke at that point.
Broken, literally. 7. Holy pickles. My first car, which is not, I should have given you a picture of my first car, not that it would be one that people care about. 1985 Buick Riviera. Burned a case of oil a week because it needed an engine. It later was sold, and then my dad was a Chicago cop, right? So it was later sold, and then cops came to my dad's house because it was found abandoned with drugs in it, and they had to switch the title.
Really?
That was my first car right there.
Wow.
That was it. That's not the
Looks
exact
like it
car,
had
but
drugs in it.
that is. Listen, that thing was a tank. You can see that it has the steel bumpers. And to this day, if you went to where we used to live in Oak Park, Illinois, and you looked in the alley in the house behind my mom's former house, there's a part of the metal fence post is bent in a little, and it's because I backed into it a couple times. An accident. Because that thing was a tank, and it had the thinnest, smallest little steering wheel. And I was so cool cruising in that thing with a case of oil in the tank. So if anybody watching has an 85 Buick Riviera, please do me the favor and bring it to the Lutheran Living Senior Campus Classic Car Show, Saturday, June 15th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. 3 p.m.
3
10 a.m. to
p.m.
3 p.m.
Yep.
Almost had it right.
Voting ends at 1 p.m.
Voting ends at 1. Also available some food trucks. This is going to be a lot of fun. Yard games. Randy, will you be there?
I will be there.
Excellent. Kayla, will you be there?
She better be.
Yes.
Best friend?
No,
No?
I have a prior commitment.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? I was like, wow. Do I have to show up? I don't know if I can be there if you're not there. No, I mean, I hope that people watching understand that Nuria and I have known each other for like 6.5 years now. We have a very good rapport. We get along. We're friends. And we like to give each other the business a little bit. But I like Lutheran Living Senior Campus a lot. And I have a lot of experience. And a couple of times over the years when I was at the radio station, I would talk to the president of the Tootsie Roll Company. And I did that because then they would send us a whole bunch of candy from the Tootsie Roll Company. And I would take it to places like Lutheran Living Senior Campus. Because the thing is, there's a great song by John Prine, who is, in my opinion, the best songwriter ever. Period. He's still working, but he has a song from his first album in like 1972. It's called "Hello in There," and the song is basically about Google John Prine "Hello in There" lyrics. The song is basically about encountering elderly people on the streets and just having the sense or the presence of mind to stop and say hello, right? Because I think oftentimes we see our elderly members of our community. And we, not that we neglect people on purpose, but we're also darn busy that we're missing these interactions. And as y'all know from what you've chosen to do professionally, it is that interactions that they crave. Now, we can't play it because we're going to get sued, see? So pull up the lyrics, Ryan, like on a piece of paper so we don't get sued. Unless you've got them on the screen and you can mute the music, then we won't get sued. Hopefully, Mr. Prine. That's John Prine right there. But it's a beautiful song, and I think about that often. And I certainly, at my work now with Hy-Vee, I see a lot of people all the time. And I really hope that I have genuine interactions with people. At your job, you all have things that you do, but can you just talk about some of those interactions that you have with folks that are at Lutheran Living Senior Campus and how much it means to them, or any stories that you can share from having just, whether it's the most basic of an interaction, you know that it can be beneficial, right, Randy? I want to start with you because you've dealt with this a lot professionally, regardless of where you've been, but in the last year and a half at Lutheran Living Senior Campus, you know that it's important, right?
Right. Oh, definitely. Aside from being an administrator, I'm also a nurse.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that you were a nurse.
Yeah,
That's
I was
cool.
a nurse.
Okay.
I was a CNA, and then I became a nurse.
Wow.
So I have kind of both sides of that. Sometimes you have residents, nobody wants to be there. So it's so important that you make it their home, and it's about them.
Sure.
And sometimes it's just a touch, and they just need to feel comforted, or, you go and sit and hear their stories. And a lot of their stories are so impactful, and you realize, oh, they were at my point of life at one time, and so you can relate in different ways and bring out different memories for them too.
Kayla, how long have you been with Lutheran Living Senior Campus now?
Just over a year and a half.
That's
or
right.
A year.
Yeah.
About a year and a half.
So, and I'm sure that you have similar experiences with folks, right?
Yeah. All to make their day. Just let them tell their stories, and I love hearing their stories. It's so interesting to hear their different experiences, and sometimes all it takes to brighten their day is to go put a puzzle together with them for 5 minutes.
Almost daily.
Isn't that? But that's just so. These are seemingly little things that. And again, I say this a lot. We're all getting older. This is all going to be our reality, and we hope that you can get back what you give, right? And you can express empathy and just those basic interactions. Nuria, you've had the luxury of being at Lutheran Living Senior Campus the longest. So you've had a lot of these moments. So you know this better than anybody, right?
I think so. But I think my experience goes a little bit deeper. My dad was 55 when I was born, and my mother was 45. Wow. And so it was just instilled in all of us that, you respect your elders, period. And unfortunately, my parents got divorced when I was about 5, and my mother worked in a nursing home, and she worked third shift. So I basically kind of grew up in a nursing home because she would take me to work and I'd sleep on the couch at night. So, I mean, you have elderly people pinching your cheeks in the morning. It's kind of scary, but I do have a really cute story. Some of my favorite residents are the feisty ones that have a little life, and say words that you shouldn't hear, come out of an 80-year-old's mouth. But I was talking to a lady one time, and she was about, I think she was 96, and we were just talking about marriage, and she told me she had been married for 70 years. And I said, oh my gosh, that tapped me on the head. She said, honey, that's 5 of them. You just keep adding it up. That's true. You can do that.
That's so great. 96.
20.
That's so great.
They still have that life in them, and they still have, and a lot of people just don't realize
It's
that.
important, and I know we're talking about a car show with a purpose. And if you're watching this in place, you're saying, I have no context, you can at least drive past the efforts of the folks that are there helping to make a difference. And, everyone there in the show every day here in senior campus, and it's a whole other conversation called Found Them. And that's what rallying around. This is more than a job. One of those lifestyle jobs. This is, because you have to. There's no way to do what you do. And this is cause for celebration. Right? Has a purpose. It's June the 15th. I'm excited to hang there. You can see this ad right here in the Voice of Muscatine. 500 homes. Get my sausage fingers out of the way there. There we go. That's better. I think no, I didn't. Yeah, no, I don't. I bite my nails. I'm sorry. My grandma would be so mad. What are you saying? You've never bit your nails,
That's why I
Randy?
wear fake ones.
Yeah, I got like the stink eye. I got like the mom eye. Like that was. My mom's mom, Grandma Marge, was really not happy with nail biting. And I'm 35 and I still do it. She passed away in 2009, so sorry, Grandma. Is it a bad habit? What am I going to go get my nails done? I mean,
I don't know, are you?
No, I like a good pedicure because I like flip-flops. And I refuse to wear flip-flops with caveman feet. So
We thank you for that.
once a year, I thank the place that I get the pedicure from. By the way, can I just say, sidebar comment, if you're a guy like me and you get a pedicure once a year, you got to lead with the tip. Because if you don't tip first, they think you're just a disgusting person that never takes care of their feet. And then you tip at the end and they're like, oh, wow, because I probably tip $10 cash. Because I understand what's happening, what the situation is. So that's a little trick from your old pal Tone Dog. You lead with the tip and they're like, what's that for? And you're like, it's just to take care of the trauma that you're going to incur over the next 20 minutes.
Right.
You'll understand in 3, 2, 1. Right. See, now you don't have to talk smack about me because I led with the tip. That's a little piece of advice. Come to the car show. Bring that Buick Riviera or that Audi. You understand, Kayla, my car had a case of oil in the trunk because it burned it. I'm just kidding. We're just jealous. That's probably what my
Oh my.
that's probably what my first car looks like. Please don't bring that car, and please make sure you don't leave a car in the parking lot at Lutheran Living Senior Campus. We don't want that to happen. This is marvelous. Jeez Louise, Ryan Broderson. This is a lot of fun. Silent auction. If you're going to enter your vehicle, call Kayla. She's right here. She would love to take your call or email. Or just show up day of, $10 entry fee, show off your vehicle. We'll have some tunes, we'll have some silent auction items. It's going to be a good cause. Maybe I'll bring some of my trinkets, my tchotchkes to share. Got some nice Ooh, this is like a Hy-Vee manager's dream. Look at this. They put this right in their nerdy little pocket right here. And then what else is in there? Oh my, what's that? Is this oh, good. She brought a, thank you, Nuria.
You're welcome.
I needed that flashlight in the eyeball in the morning.
I put a couple more in there for your kids.
Oh, good, good. You know how?
Yeah.
That's
I'm a grandma.
That's
I
a
know how
grandma
that
move. I was just gonna say that's a grandma move. Are you zooming in on the flashlight? Is this what's happening? All right. Let's not blind the people at home. Look at that. Look at this. I'm sending out an SOS, please. Thank you for being here. It's great to see you. I'll see you next Saturday. Yep. Nuria, Kayla, Randy. I'm happy when you walked in. When you walked up, I was like, I'm glad that you're here. I like these two.
Senior Resources Cookout this Saturday.
Shameless plug. Go ahead, say it again.
Yeah, Senior Resources Cookout this Saturday.
Nuria is going to be cooking the best chicken you've ever had. Isn't that true?
No. No.
Okay.
I'm bringing a cooler of beer.
Okay.
Well, no, I didn't say that. No,
right. No,
I'm
you
not.
didn't,
No.
Randy. She didn't say that. That was me, Nuria Tone, that said that. Okay, that's the Saturday in downtown Muscatine near City Hall.
Starts at
annual
11?
cookout starts at 11. And then June 15th, the car show at Lutheran Living Senior Campus here in Muscatine. It's going to be a great time. Bring your classic vehicles and let's have some fun. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. You didn't have to put my name in the ad, but there's also some self-serving that I like about having my ad in the paper where I used to work, and the fact that it's a good-looking ad, so thank you.
Yes.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. Get your classic cars to Lutheran Living Senior Campus on June 15th. And
I think you're
it'll
on
be a lot
the
of
radio
fun.
ad
I'm on the
too.
radio ad as well. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure they love that.
Yeah.
Yes, I could have voiced it for you just like this, because that's how I talk. This is great. I'm going to frame this with all my other stuff that my wife doesn't let me put on display. So thank you all for being here. Did I say that into the microphone? I'm kidding. All right, let's go CBI Bank and Trust Aisle Cam if we could. Birthday boy. It's Chad's birthday, by the way. Hey, Chad, I know you thought Tony didn't give me anything for my birthday. Got you a Lutheran Living Senior Campus pen. There's nothing on that one. Got you a Lutheran Living Senior Campus pen. Look at that. Just for you, pal. You can only have one. All right, let's go to the aisle cam, and we'll get our crew out of here so they can go back to helping people at Lutheran Living Senior Campus, because that's what they do. All right, so as I mentioned, today is National Running Day. Oh, am I having a note passed to me? What's this? Breaking news. Coming back to our first guests, Mark and Shelby. Shelby, of course, has the book about women soldiers hidden in the Civil War. Mark will be reading a poem tonight at the library at 6 p.m. Okay. Do we know what the poem is about? Is it just a poem? Is there any context for it? Thank you, Nuria. He's going to be reading a poem as part of the presentation. Excellent. Okay. I like. Can we have more notes handed to me with money in it? Put a hundo in there next time, Ryan. I'll make it real snappy for you. This just in to the Hy-Vee Today newsroom. Ryan Broderson likes food. Hey, speaking of food, no. What do you mean do I have a pen? I got a whole bag of pens. Do you really need a pen? Right now, you need a pen during the show? Okay, here you go. Hot shot, coming in hot, and he caught it. Cody, I just thought about something. Do me a favor. Before we wrap up, could you take a little stroll to the bakery and just have him give you one glazed donut? And then just bring it back. And then you can have it. Just one, two glazed donut, 3. One for each of you. I don't need one. What I'm getting at is starting today, the 5th of June, at the Hy-Vee Bakery, right over yonder, you can get 12 glazed donuts, Mel, for just $5. These donuts are, they're making the dough, they're rolling them out, they're cutting them, they're frying them every single day. And starting today, 12 dozen glazed donuts for just $5. It's a fantastic deal. But it gets better because on Friday, this Friday, June 7th, which is also, as Ryan knows, National Donut Day, the bakery is going to be offering 12 glazed donuts for $3.99, which is the cheapest price ever. So if you came in today, Wednesday, or tomorrow, Thursday, 12 donuts for $5. Thank you, sir. Did they not give you 3? You didn't ask for 3. All right, well, we'll give this to Chad because it's his birthday, whether he likes glazed donuts or not. Ooh, you can tell that this is fresh. It's so soft and just marvelous. It's like me. It's soft and marvelous, everybody. I've been called worse. Look at that. That looks really great, doesn't it? Oh, my. I don't even really, full disclosure, I don't love glazed donuts, but I would eat this. 12 glazed donuts for $5 today, Thursday, and then 12 glazed donuts for $3.99 on Friday. Can I turn this over? I feel like it's not upright. There we go. That's better. Look at that. You didn't even see me touch it with my bare hand, Chad. Here it is. That's the glazed donut that we know and love. Donuts. That's a terrible Homer Simpson impression. I should do better. The guy's from my hometown. He went to high school with my dad. And then on Friday, $3.99, glazed donuts. Get 12 of them. Ryan Broderson treating. Ryan Broderson said, guys, I got a dozen donuts on Friday for the show. Don't worry. And then I said, Ryan, we're off on Friday. And he said, I know. So he's going to have 12 donuts and eat them by himself. That's what I was alluding to. That's why we love Ryan. Did I send you the garden center ad? I probably didn't. No, shame on the Tone Dog. Let's see how good Ryan Broderson is. Go to the Hy-Vee, Muscatine Hy-Vee Instagram page. I'll give you a couple minutes. Ready, go. Good luck. So in the garden center. No, we don't. Come on, this. All right, fine. Let's watch him do it. In the garden center, you can earn 10 cents off on your fuel saver with every $10 you spend. This just started today. 10 on 10. So spend $10 in the garden center in our parking lot. Get 10 cents off. off per gallon. Spend 20 cents, spend $20, get 20 cents off. It stacks up and so on. Look at how quick Ryan Broderson is. Quicker than the average Broderson. 10 cents off with every 10 bucks you spend. The more you spend, the more you save on your fuel saver in the garden center. The garden center still looks good. It's been watered a couple times this morning. Thanks, Mother Nature. And it's all set and ready to go. 10 on 10 in the garden center here at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. This just in, I'm being handed another note. Okay, another note. This says, Tony you got bro-zoned. It says you got bro-zoned. That's awesome. I really thought it was a serious note or something. I thought like I'm being handed something like Walter Cronkite. What's this? I'm being handed something. Let me put out my stogie. You got bro-zoned. This belongs in the Smithsonian. That's you're only marvelous. All right. So go to the garden center and save. Get some glazed donuts, 12 of them for $5. It's right here. Looks really good. That's an awesome deal. It is National Donut Week. National Donut Day is on Friday. Ryan, the Wilton Wapello pickup. I'm up. Ryan, Hy-Vee Pharmacy. That's fine. Let's go. Hy-Vee Pharmacy, fifth Hy-Vee Pharmacy opened up in Cedar Rapids on the back page 50 years ago. That ad and starting for a sweet treat. The Hy-Vee I would have remembered. Let's go get some cupcakes from the pharmacy because they have a lot of them. I think I ordered 200 cupcakes for today or something crazy like that. So between today and Saturday, stop by the pharmacy. 50th anniversary, grab a cupcake and say hi to the crew. Pictured there. Nicole Duelmeyer, Hy-Vee Pharmacy Manager. Trey Lowry and Sam Gerritsen, along with our full-time techs, Anna and Stacy. So happy 50th anniversary to the Hy-Vee Pharmacy. That is just fantastic. I really don't like having a watch on. I don't even know what time it is. I'm going to glance at my phone. Holy pickles. All right. So with that being said, I would like to show you the brand new Fuel Saver flyer that I put on the Facebook page this morning. And as it says in the post, if you bought everything on the brand new flyer that is good Wednesday to Tuesday, you would save $1.41 off per gallon. Perks card. That's a lot. I was excited last week. 89 cents off. That's translated to about $15 off to fill up my vehicle, which is about 16 gallons of gas. Look for this when you walk in. Get ready to join Team Chief from Mr. Broderson. The nice 10 on 10 call out in the garden center. Even more saving. Go to the second. Ready to go. Jamaican shrimp, Hy-Vee cottage cheese, bakery fresh cookies. You would save again. $1.41 off. And that flyer is available at either entryways. Grab one and get ready to save. Last thing I'll mention before the job board is just a shameless plug for the Iowa Hawkeye basketball camp. Again, coming up July 8th through the 11th in Muscatine at the Muscatine Community YMCA, featuring Iowa basketball head coach Fran McCaffrey and current players like Muscatine's own Joe Wieskamp, just to name a few. Some former Hawkeye players will be there as well. This is for kids aged 7 to 9 and 10 to 12. Basketball camp. Learn from the best. You're talking about Division I athletes in the Big Ten in Muscatine, teaching your kids all that they know about basketball over the course of 3 days. That is an incredible experience. You should totally sign them up. It's $145 for the camp. If you do the math, like I'm going to do right now, it's not $48. I mean, for a day, a double to learn from Division I basketball. I don't play basketball anymore. I love basketball. When I'm at the Y, I would be like, but if I was 7 to 12 years Sign me up. I want to go to camp. It's an amazing experience. All right, that being said, it's Wednesday, so let's get. They have several opportunities available for us in Muscatine. One of them for jobs ready to go. I saw Mary recently. She's Mary. I've been doing it full and part-time, available $9.50 to $11.563-763-4. You can work immediately. If you need to, here's Brooke McCullough with 5 an hour. Call Brooke 561-1105. 316-4-career-636. At least, how about Jenny? And last, Jenny was in the store. She's an efficient shopper. Whether she wants me to tell you this or not, I saw Jenny yesterday. Maintenance, industrial, up to $25 an hour. Swing shift. Call 7635. That type of job is for sure. All right, Hy-Vee today at gmail.com. If you need anything from me, if you watch the show on Facebook, like our friend Debbie does, who is in the store right now. She's right over there. Hi, Debbie. Thank you for stopping by. We're doing the show inside a grocery store, inside Hy-Vee in Muscatine off Highway 61. Starts at 8:30 in the morning live, and then it's on cable, Channel 5 in Muscatine at 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. Remax has all their house listings, and oh no, and that's a text from my wife. She says, I don't think they're going swimming. My son, last day of school, right? My first grader, last day of school. Hey, buddy. They were just going to go swimming all day, and they're getting a free swim outside with Mother Nature. That's too bad. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We've got one more show this week. That would be tomorrow, and then I'm off on Friday because I'm moving, bringing trouble to the new neighborhood. As one of my future neighbors walks by, that's Jim Haskin in the background. You didn't see him, but that's okay. I appreciate the support from CBI Bank and Trust, Team Staffing, and Toyota of Muscatine. Thank you to Shelby Harrell for being here. See Shelby and Mark Heideball tonight, 6 o'clock, Muscle Public Library. Behind the Rifle, we're talking women soldiers that hid themselves in the Civil War. That's cool. Buy the book and go see them tonight. And thank you to Randy Rogantine, Maria Strickland, and Kayla Beneful with Lutheran Living Senior Campus. June 15th, Lutheran Living Senior Campus Classic Car Show, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I should know that. I'm going to be there the entire time. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is awesome. Classic car show for a good cause. All the entry fees and sound auction items will be used to purchase a golf cart. We look forward to that very much. All right. Well, I think I've said it all. Happy birthday to Chad, who is behind the scenes. Ryan's going to let him share just a nibble of this donut. They're going to Lady in the Tramp it once we get done. Because that's what they want to do with this donut, which is bite it end to end. Of course, if you haven't seen Lady and the Tramp recently, you know, it's an old reference. All right, thank you for watching. I've said enough, friends, and, you know, if you need a flashlight, let me know. I'll let you borrow this one. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Very, very quiet. We're hunting rabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.